When a woman truly values herself, her words do not rush out to prove something. They flow like water, steady and clear. She does not chase. She does not beg. She does not bend out of fear of losing someone. Instead, she speaks with a calmness that unsettles noise, a confidence that does not need explanation, and a grace that carries both softness and strength. A high-value woman knows that every word is an extension of her worth. She chooses silence over arguments, clarity over confusion, and presence over performance. When she talks to a man, she does not ask for validation. She reflects boundaries. She does not plead for attention. She invites respect. She does not perform love. She embodies it. Her voice is not loud, but it is powerful. It says, "I know who I am, and I know what I deserve." And in that stillness, men listen. When a woman speaks with calm energy, she is not in a hurry to be heard. She understands that the strength of her message lies not in the volume of her voice, but in the depth of her presence. Calm energy is magnetic. It draws people in. It makes others lean closer. It creates an atmosphere where her words are not just heard, but felt. A high-value woman does not need to raise her tone to command attention, because her composure itself does the work. Calmness in communication shows mastery over self. It reveals that her emotions are under her control, not the other way around. When she speaks, she chooses her words like an artist chooses colors, carefully, intentionally, and with purpose. There is no chaos in her delivery, no desperation hidden behind her tone. Instead, there is balance. And this balance tells the listener that they are in the presence of someone who knows her own worth. This calm energy is not weakness. It is quiet strength. Many mistake gentleness for softness, but in truth, it is far more difficult to remain composed when provoked than it is to react in anger. When she remains calm, she demonstrates that she is not easily shaken. Her words, delivered steadily, carry far more impact than those spoken in haste or frustration. She becomes like still water, peaceful on the surface, yet holding unimaginable depth beneath. Calm energy also teaches others how to respond. If she reacts with panic, anger, or defensiveness, the conversation escalates. But when she stays calm, she sets the emotional tone of the interaction. People instinctively match her state because calmness has a contagious quality. It disarms hostility, softens resistance, and creates space for true connection. In this way, her calm voice is not just communication, it is leadership. The calm way she speaks reflects her inner stability. It shows that she is not defined by the external world, but rooted in her inner one. Men quickly recognize this difference. The woman who speaks out of fear or insecurity seeks to convince, while the woman who speaks with calm energy needs no convincing. She simply expresses truth. Her words become steady reminders that peace within is greater than chaos outside. And when a woman communicates like this, she does not just express herself, she inspires. She shows that power does not always roar, sometimes it whispers. She demonstrates that self-respect is not something you announce loudly, it is something you embody quietly. Her calm energy is not just a way of speaking, it is a way of being, and it transforms every interaction she has with the world. When a high-value woman speaks, her words carry boundaries without needing to shout them. She does not use threats or ultimatums. Instead, she speaks with clarity. Her sentences are firm, yet respectful. They create invisible lines that show where her values stand and what she will or will not accept. In this way, her words become both a shield and a compass, protecting her peace while guiding others in how to treat her. Boundaries in words are not about control, they are about respect. A woman who values herself knows that if she does not express her limits, others will decide them for her. So, when she communicates, she is not afraid to say, this doesn't work for me, or I will not allow this. These words are not heavy with anger, they are light but unshakable. And because they come from a place of calm self-respect, they hold more weight than any loud confrontation. Setting verbal boundaries also prevents misunderstandings. Instead of playing games or expecting others to, just know. She makes her expectations clear. If something hurts her, she says so. If she needs space, she expresses it. If respect is crossed, she states it directly. This clarity removes confusion and ensures that no one can pretend they did not understand her limits. Silence may protect feelings temporarily, but words with boundaries protect dignity permanently. Such boundaries are also a reflection of self-love. Every time she speaks them, she reinforces to herself that her voice matters. She does not stay silent out of fear of losing someone, because she understands that anything gained by silencing her truth is never truly hers. By giving words to her boundaries, she honors herself first, and in doing so, she teaches others to honor her as well. What makes her words powerful is not the force behind them, but the intention. Boundaries spoken with anger can feel like walls, but boundaries spoken with calmness feel like gates, clear pathways that show what is welcomed and what is not. A man listening to her immediately understands that her respect cannot be negotiated, but her presence is safe and nurturing for those who honor her space. Over time, her boundaries in words create a natural filter. Those who respect her stay and grow closer. Those who do not fall away. She does not need to chase, argue, or demand. Her words, steady and consistent, do the work of keeping her circle aligned with her values. And because of this, her relationships, whether romantic, professional, or social, are built on a foundation of trust, clarity, and mutual respect. A high-value woman does not chase. She does not run after attention, nor does she beg for love. Instead, she allows what is meant for her to flow toward her naturally. When she speaks to a man, her words are not coated with desperation. She does not ask, "Do you still care?" or "Why don't you notice me?" Because she understands, if she has to beg for love, then it is not love at all. Chasing strips a woman of her dignity, and she knows this well. That is why she refuses to lower her standards to be chosen. Her worth is not measured by how much effort she puts into proving herself. It is measured by the calm assurance that she is already enough. She does not audition for a man's affection. She does not compete for a seat at his table. She speaks from the place of knowing. I am whole, whether you see it or not. Begging for love places power in the hands of the other person. But a high-value woman knows her power rests within her. If she must repeat her worth, remind someone to care, or beg for consistency, then she has already lost herself in the process. Her silence, her absence, and her self-respect speak louder than any plea could. She walks away rather than lower her voice to beg for something she deserves freely. By refusing to chase, she changes the dynamic of every relationship. Instead of stretching herself to be seen, she allows others to rise to meet her. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. She knows that the right man, the right friend, or the right connection will never require her to shrink. Her words, therefore, remain grounded, steady in honesty, but never desperate in tone. The beauty of not chasing is that it preserves her energy. Instead of wasting it on proving, convincing, or pleading, she invests it in her growth, her peace, and her purpose. And because her focus is inward, she becomes radiant outwardly. Men notice this difference. They sense that her presence is a privilege, not something to be taken lightly. Her refusal to beg commands respect without her needing to demand it. In every conversation, this truth is reflected. She can say, "I deserve more," without trembling. She can say, "I will not accept this," without shouting, and she can say nothing at all, letting her silence end what her words no longer need to explain. In this way, she communicates a truth few understand. Real value does not chase, and true love does not require begging. Silence, in the hands of a high-value woman, is not emptiness, it is presence. When she chooses not to respond, it is not because she is weak or uncertain. It is because she understands that not every situation deserves her voice. Her silence communicates what words cannot: dignity, control, and self-respect. In a world where noise dominates, her quietness becomes louder than arguments. Silence is power because it disrupts the pattern of conflict. When someone expects her to react, to argue, to defend herself, she does the opposite. She remains calm, composed, and still. This unexpected response disarms the other person. It forces reflection. Her silence creates a mirror where the other must face their own behavior without her adding fuel to the fire. In this way, silence becomes her strongest statement. Through silence, she shows that she is not desperate to win arguments. She does not waste energy explaining herself to those committed to misunderstanding her. She does not prove her worth through endless words. Instead, she allows silence to protect her energy. Her quiet refusal to engage says more than hours of talking ever could. Silence becomes her way of saying, "I will not lower myself to chaos." There is also a sacredness to her silence. It is not always used as resistance. Sometimes it is used as space. In silence, she reflects. In silence, she heals. In silence, she grows stronger. So when she finally speaks, her words carry weight because they have been forged in the stillness of thought. A man learns quickly that her silence is not distance. It is depth. It is the pause that gives her voice its power. Silence also teaches self-control. It proves she is guided not by impulse but by intention. When provoked, her quietness shows that she cannot be manipulated into emotional chaos. When ignored, her silence speaks volumes about her self-respect. When disrespected, her stillness makes it clear that her boundaries have been crossed, without her needing to argue or plead. She becomes untouchable not because she is unfeeling, but because she is unshaken. Most importantly, her silence reminds others of her value. The less she says, the more people listen when she finally does speak. The less she reacts, the more others wonder what she is thinking. In this way, her silence creates mystery, respect, and gravity. It turns her presence into something rare, something others cannot ignore. And in that rarity, her silence becomes her crown. A high-value woman does not need to prove who she is. Her words, her silence, her presence, these already speak for her. When she talks to a man, she does not chase, she does not beg. She does not break herself to fit his comfort. She speaks with calm energy. She places boundaries in her words. She values her silence. And she blends softness with unshakable strength. And it is in this balance, between gentleness and power, between stillness and clarity, that her true worth is revealed. For the world will always listen to the woman who first listens to herself.